One of the great things about Australia is the wonderful selection of free camps we have scattered all over. I hope we continue to allow people to camp like this. I hope people don't abuse it and ruin it for others. This campsite right on the Murray was, as you can see, beautiful. All the way along the Murray there are free camping sites. If you want to know where they are, purchase an app called Wikicamps. It lists all the camping spots with reviews, costs and lists of amenities at each site. With the use of this app, you could literally travel around Australia and not pay a cent for accommodation.
I know my life will never be the same after that day. You wrap me around your fingers and you...
We ventured into Mildura to have a look. I'd never been there before. After riding around a bit, we made our way down to the Mildura weir, which took 4 years to build and was opened in 1927. The weir comprises of 24 steel trestles, each weighing 11 tonnes. The trestles can be winched from the river to allow maintenance or to allow the safe passage of floodwaters. At the same time the weir was built, there was also a weir bypass put in for boats, which is called a lock. This particular lock has an extremely creative name. Wait for it. Lock 11.
I don't want to miss the way you looked at me before. Makes me want you even more. If you...
For those of you out there that ask, how the hell does the lock work? I'm glad you asked, I'll explain. The lock's filled by opening 4 butterfly valves that are located upstream of the lock gates. Water enters the lock chamber via tunnels. The chamber can accommodate approximately 4.5 megalitres, in layman's terms a shitload of water. The lock chamber is drained by opening 4 butterfly valves near the downstream gates, which are operated by hydraulic cylinders.
Changing genders.
There you go. Wait a minute, you know what? What did that sign say?
Yeah, I think they got the signs around the wrong way.
Did you get caught?
The trip back from Alice Springs was very different to the trip up. For the trip back, we didn't spend nearly as much time on the dirt roads. We spent most of our time on the blacktop, which technically wasn't true because we rode on red roads, light grey roads, dark roads, white roads, and of course the odd blacktop road. My preference is to travel on dirt. You know, the more interesting, washed out roads like this one. I don't even mind the odd corrugation. Rocky roads keep you engaged. Sandy roads keep you thinking. Tight, weavy roads get me excited. My DRZ, Dozer, is better suited to the rougher roads. It gets a bit boring sitting on bitumen for hours on end, particularly in the outback. The dirt roads offer a more interesting perspective of the journey in my opinion. The road less travelled is my cup of tea. We stopped for lunch at Sea Lake, which ironically is nowhere near the sea. At this point I noticed some oil coming down the outside of my engine casing. I wanted to know where it was coming from, so we did some investigations. I'd been pushing Dozer a little hard, sitting on 120 kilometres an hour for a few hours, and the oil had escaped through a breather hose on the top of the engine. I'm no mechanic, so my apologies if I've described this issue incorrectly.
Where's it coming from, though?
Looks like it's coming out of the bottom of that hose.
What's going on, Rod?
You shouldn't pack your tools at the bottom of your bag, that's what's going on.
Have needed them.
Losing hope, fading love. This night will be okay. Waking up to another day.
You little bit of oil coming out of here, so we're just going to put a clamp on her. Tighten her up a bit. Rod's been pushing her hard. Just go and slow down, Rod.
While we were working on the bike, a local Sea Lake resident came over to say g'day and have a chat. Also a biking enthusiast. He noticed what we were doing. I checked the dipstick, see how much oil I had in the bike, and there was nothing showing on the dipstick, so he very kindly went home and got some 4-stroke oil and brought it back, and we had a chat, and he wouldn't take any of my money. Just another example of great country hospitality we'd experienced on this trip.
We can stop and make a change. I know we walk for days, losing hope, fading love. This night will be.
What's the story behind this, Rod?
Birthplace, where I was born. I've obviously
World's smallest rod.
taken the sign down that says home of Rodney Brown.
Rod the Rooter. There you go.
I've got to get that back, put it back. I don't know what they were thinking.
Wycheproof is home to Mount Wycheproof, which at 43 metres tall is the world's smallest registered mountain. Now I don't know what the rules are for what constitutes a mountain, but when you've got the world's smallest mountain, you should flaunt it. So they did, with a race called King of the Mountain.
Big arms, big chest.
You better start eating a few more burgers, mate.
Started right here.
And they headed up. There.
The 1 kilometre race was held for 11 years starting in 1977. Men were required to carry a 70 kilogram bag of wheat and women carried a bag of foam. The junior race, you didn't have to carry anything, you just ran straight up.
No, make it looks like it's a bag.
I ran it a couple of times in the junior race before it, just running up. I think I came 4th one time.
I did come 4th, and here's the proof. I still have the certificate. 1982, I was 10 years old.
What makes this the smallest hill?
Got no idea. Town's got to be known for something.
True.
Looks like there's a sculpture in town.
Yeah. What is it? What's it made out of?
Steel. A whole heap of things from the railway.
Oh. What do you call them?
Nails.
There's a special word for them, Rod. Don't know. Got no idea.
Neither do I. Big oversized nails.
It'll come to me fucking tonight, I reckon.
See that down the bottom of the hill, the hospital, that's where I was born.
I've seen that. I was wondering where the house was, where it all happened.
Don't know if it's still there.
Condemned.
I can show you.
See how you roam while you roam in the streets all alone. And all you can see, thinking about what your life came to be. You're a beautiful sight in the summer night.
Just checking out the bugs from travelling about 45 minutes to an hour in the dark last night. Look at that. Doesn't take much.
You?
The daily ritual of cleaning the bugs off the helmet.
You held me out of the dark. I always wanted.
My dad was born and bred in Castlemaine. When he retired, he moved back here, and when we came to visit, I always made sure to come and have a look at the Restorers Barn. One thing my dad and I had in common is our love for history and old stuff.
It's like your butt.
Like my butt.
Sore.
Be real. I'll let you take the wheel.
Just pulled over on the side of the road near these old ruins in Fryanstown, and I thought, why isn't John behind me? I just waited a bit, then I just went to phone him and he rang me. His chain's been a bit loose and it's just come off, so I've got to go back and see if I can help him. Someone's just pulled over on the side of the road to give him a hand. It's been a bit loose, so he's just going to try and tighten it up, then we can get going again. Fill us in, what happened?
Oh well, it's called 7,500 kilometres of chain stretching. Chain, I just noticed the chain. I was talking to you, Mick, what, 2 minutes ago, was it?
Yeah.
About how loose my chain was. I've just come around the corner, slowly, thank God, and yeah, she's come off. So that's what happens when you're running a loose chain.
It's a good thing we can fix it.
Well, can we?
I will let you take the wheel. From now on. From now on.
Oh, you found a nice place to do it.
What? Down the bottom of the hill?
Oh, right up here. It's only just around the corner.
What's that? Town back there, or is it up this way?
That's Fryanstown. That used to be a population 15,000.
You were telling me everything I didn't know. Outside there's a midnight rain. With the hardest of heart, I still feel full of pain.
My dad had this massive book in his book collection on the history of goldfields around Castlemaine. It was massive because it was like A3 size, and the front cover photo was this photo right here of the Garfield Water Wheel located in Kempton. The Great Water Wheel, as it was called, was built in 1887 and was 22 metres in diameter. At the time it was the largest in Victoria. The wheel used water to drive 15 battery stamps through a system of gear wheels. In layman's terms, it pounded ore to extract gold. In its busiest times, the Garfield mine employed about 70 men and boys. It was closed in 1912.
Just trying to work out where the water came from, because it's coming right up and higher up the mountain. I reckon. Yeah. Hey, John.
Hey, buddy. You said, hey, as you stopped me just a second away from all the pain. You told me if I leave, then no one gains. And it feels like you smashed me with a hammer. I'm ready to see we fell apart. I'm ready to believe you have a heart. And then you said, hey, we can build it all up again. We can leave with more than truth.
It's not often you go on an adventure and it turns into a life-changing event. This trip galvanised what I've always thought my entire life. I'm an outdoors person, and I'm at my happiest when outside exploring Mother Nature's best. I've spent 29 years building my career as a graphic designer, predominantly sitting in front of a computer inside. For 18 years I've worked ridiculous hours building my business with my wife. Design has been my life. It has provided so much fulfillment, enjoyment, and a way to channel my creativity. Creating stuff is what I get out of bed in the morning for. I'll always want to create stuff. This for certain will not change. But what will change is what I create and how I create it. This adventure series has been so long in the making, probably because I wanted to give it the time it deserves. I don't do anything by halves. I want to spend more time on my motorbike exploring. I want to create stories which everyone can enjoy. Now awaits the next challenge in my life. How on earth can I make this happen? Thanks for watching, and thanks so much for all the feedback and encouragement. I hope you will continue to come along for the ride.
But I'm sure we will win. Just pushing it in. Oh, tonight. He said, hey, as you stop me just a second away from all the pain. You told me if I leave, then no one gains.
To my partner in crime, John, I hope this trip is the first of many. What a time we had, mate. Thanks for planting the seed. I'll be forever grateful. Now for the next trip, do me a favour. Work on your sand riding. You'll need to if you want to keep up with the mighty dozer.
Get back home again. Hey, we can build it all up again. We can leave with the morning train. I could try to get over you, but I would never love again. Hey, we can build it all up again. We can dance in the summer rain. I know we can fight it and keep it. We'll get back home again.